So this is my review of the Mexican Grand Prix. I know it's a little bit late, but here goes. So in the post-race press conference, Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel were making fun of Max Verstappen. Well, Lewis Hamilton should be making fun of Sebastian Vettel instead. He should be, pointing the finger at Sebastian Vettel. But he feels no need to do that because Charles Leclerc is handling Sebastian Vettel for him. So he feels he has to point the finger as he has to point the finger to the person, on the ascendancy, which is Max Verstappen. So next year or the year after, Max Verstappen is someone he will have to wrestle with compared to Vettel, who has Charles Leclerc there, who's giving him trouble already. So Max Verstappen is the only person in F1 right now in a similar situation to Lewis Hamilton, because Lewis Hamilton seems to have Mercedes all to himself, as the number one guy, and Max Verstappen is the only one in his team who had that same situation. So the team is setting Lewis Hamilton as number one, and Max Verstappen is being set up as number one as well. So in qualifying, Valtteri Bottas crashed. So that's the pressure getting to him, the pressure to perform in these last four races. He wants to perform. He would like to win them all, like I said in one of my previous videos. So he wants to perform and he wants to be Lewis Hamilton, and he just wants to win them all. That's it. That's what he has to do, and he should do that. He has to go for it. He can't let anything hold him back. This can come into play next year again because he only had a 1-year contract once again. So next year he has to go through the whole situation that he went through this year, but he wants to make sure he has a good bargaining chip, because teams will be looking. Everybody's looking. So next year he wants to make sure if he's happen to be out of Mercedes, other teams are lining up for his services. So that's what he has to do, and he has to look out for himself. Even though the championship is over, he's still got to think about next year. There's still next year coming up, so that's what he's doing. So he could have won the race, but qualifying didn't go quite well. So, but he could have won the race if Lewis there. He could have won it, so that means he could have won it. And Sergio Perez was 7th, so great for him. That's like winning the Class B battle. In sports car racing, they'll like the P2 battle. So that's like, because that's what the other teams are compared to the big three. So will he ever get a chance? I'm not sure, because I'm not sure. I like to see him get a chance. He was at McLaren for that 1 year in 2013 to replacing Lewis Hamilton, but then he didn't manage to beat Jenson Button that year, but Button himself never scored a podium or never got a win, never scored a podium. So, but Bottas did finish higher than Sergio Perez, so the team and Jenson Button was a world champion. At the time he had he was a world champion, so they didn't want to let the world champion go. So they kicked him out and put in Stoffel Van Dorn at the time. So, but I wish they could. I think they should have kept Sergio Perez, but I guess unless Sergio Perez was the top-notch driver they were looking for, then they figured, well, we have our own, young gun we can put in and experiment with him instead. So if Sergio Perez is not going to deliver to the level of Sergio Perez, because he was pretty much redundant. He's not beating Jenson Button. He's just, he's not beating Jenson Button, and they have another young guy. So that was his chance. He used to be in the Ferrari Driver Academy, but he left that once he signed up for McLaren. So now he's on his own. But I don't know. Things move fast in F1. So just one season, they gauged him, and that's it. No other team wants to give him a chance. So he's pretty much settled in a Racing Point, which he should do, because unless someone willing to hire him. But he did show his talent, especially getting podiums. And Nico Hülkenberg was highly rated, and he has yet to get a podium, but Sergio Perez has multiple podiums too. So hopefully he gets a chance. There's still time. Along with Nico Hülkenberg is out, we never know. He never really got a chance. His only chance was against Sergio Perez at Force India, but Sergio Perez got podiums and Nico Hülkenberg didn't. So I guess that was his chance right there. That's why That's what's killing him right now. That's the knock on him right now. And Romain Grosjean, he people, so his chance was when he was at Lotus, because that car was pretty good in the V8 era when he was at Lotus. So with that Renault V8, it was pretty good. And Kimi Räikkönen did manage a race win, and well, Romain Grosjean did get podiums, but he was always just a notch under Kimi Räikkönen. So and so I guess that was his chance there. So that's why I know the team. But now it doesn't seem to be going quite well for him now. So. But I guess that's why everybody is looking at it. Those are their chances because there's so many people wanting to get into F1, so they gauge you quick, and you either got it or you don't, and it's over. That's it, real quick. Yeah, I guess if they, yeah, and that's it. So, but staying with Haas, with Gunther Steiner, Haas team principal, he made a comment that the good thing for his team is that there's only 3 races to go after the Mexican Grand Prix. 3 races to go, but these last 3 races, but these races, that the current stretch is in the American continent. So they have the Mexican Grand Prix, the US Grand Prix, and the Brazilian Grand Prix. So those 3 races will be shown on national TV in the US. So this normally should be prime time for Has to shine. So him making that comment is pretty much like, well, we have given up and I'm not giving my best, so that's it, We have what we have, but this should be like his time to shine. The team's time to shine. They should be waiting all year for this period because this is, it's an American team, and well, it's an American team. So, and yeah, then on the American continent. So we want to see them, I just wish they had an American driver. Yeah, that would be nice. But oh well, it's too bad that he feels that way. It's just disheartening. And Alex Albon, he's doing really good. Ever since he went to Red Bull, he has scored in every single race. So he top 10 every single race, and his results are more consistent than Pierre Gasly's were. I wonder if Pierre Gasly had this pace, would they have kept him, or would they expect him to be getting podiums at least? At least one podium. I'm not sure. I think they would have kept him because he would be scoring consistently, so they would have points. But yeah, he would be scoring consistently, but I'm not sure if they would have kept him. I'm not sure because they would want someone to be him to be closer to Max Verstappen's place. But because right now this is what they have. They have that's what they have. So they want to go with just the drivers they have. So that's what they're doing. So in my opinion, next year the lineup will be as it is because Albon is doing very good, pretty well at Red Bull, and Pierre Gasly is doing better than Albon was doing at Toro Rosso. So the switches seem to be working very good for each of those 2 drivers. So yeah, it's So why wouldn't they consider Daniel Kvyat? Well, they dropped him already, so that's one reason. They figured they already seen him, so they dropped him. But in his defense, in his first year at Red Bull, Kvyat actually beat Ricciardo. So Ricciardo beat Vettel. So Ricciardo, in his first year, he beat Sebastian Vettel, the reigning 4-time champion. So his first year, he beat him there. And then Vettel left. So you bring in a second-year driver, he beats the guy who beat the 4-time champion. So in his first year at Red Bull, at the team. So that's a no mean feat, And yeah, so that's so Kvyat actually beat Daniel Ricciardo. As bad as everybody says about as Ricciardo is now, Kvyat actually beat him in his first year at Red Bull. Yeah, so that's but the reason why they wouldn't bring him back personally is because it could bring in some animosity in Red Bull. So I believe Red Bull just doesn't want to have to deal with that because Max Verstappen is the one who was put in Red Bull and then they kicked out Daniel Kvyat. So they just don't want that animosity. They just won't have to deal with it. Maybe Max's management team says, hey, once you kick this guy out, you can either pair him with Verstappen again. I'm not sure. I wouldn't know, but my opinion is that they feel it might bring some animosity and they just don't want to deal with that. They just want to be full on, full tilt ahead on winning a championship. So they don't want have driver management issues. Um, and McLaren, that used to be my team when Lewis Hamilton started, you know, in F1 in 2007. In 2007, so I didn't watch F1 then, and but Lewis Hamilton is just so, you know, I guess he's what would I say? He brings in the casual fan. He brings in the casual fan, just to casual person, you know, because he's dabbles into everything. So and then that's when I started watching F1, and I became a big fan of McLaren. I love the orange, the McLaren orange, the Vodafone colors, you know. So the victory shirts, yeah, yeah, I love those colors, you know. But now they seem to be just happy-go-lucky with what they have. It seems that they're happy with their drivers. I don't know any team that's happy with what their driver is. The only person who could be happy is Mercedes. Even Red Bull. I mean, Red Bull is doing pretty good, but you know, they're not happy. They want to win the championship, you know. So McLaren, they're not even at the level where Red Bull was with the Renault engine. So why are they happy? I don't know. I don't know why they're happy. It's just like Brotherly Love, Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. It seems like Brotherly Love, but those two drivers are not the top. You know, I'm not saying, you know, everybody saying that. Well, yeah, they're doing really good. No, the car is good. You know, last year they messed up Stoffel Van Dorn's and Fernando Alonso's season to build this car. You know, they claim that, you know, they didn't stop building. No, they stopped developing last year's car once they realized that it was not a race winner, and began developing this year's car. So that car had a head start, but it's not where it should be, because it should be a race winner. They want it to be where Red Bull was with the Renault engine. You know, the performance that Red Bull had with the Renault engine, they're not there. So I don't know why they're so happy. Why everybody's giving them all these accolades. Oh, they're doing so good. No, you know. So when they started the race, the Mexican Grand Prix, they were 5th and 7th. So, and they were kind of contending, well, pretending to be they were pretending to keep pace with the Mercedes. You know? So hey, that's good. If you could do that, you know, if you should try to, you know, but that's good. But then once they got onto the hard tires, that's it. Okay, race done. And then the team messed up Lando Norris's tire chain, but they said they lost pace. No, it's the cars still had the pace. The drivers could not adapt to the hard tires. Simple as that. So and the best drivers adapt quickly. So that's the mark of a good driver. You adapt to the situation, and they didn't manage to do that. So me personally, I don't know. I don't know why Zach Brown is so high on these guys. I don't know. Maybe they bring in some serious sponsorship, but Lando is a rookie, so maybe they want to give him time to develop. But still, they need to gauge him quickly because there's so many people who want to get in. So Nico Hulkenberg is on his way out of Formula One, but he was beating Carlos Sainz, you know. So and now Daniel Ricciardo is beating Nico Hulkenberg. So that means that Carlos Sainz is really, you know, maybe that's like 2 notches down. So and then Lando Norris is even lower on the scale than Carlos Sainz. So I don't know. So far, they're not really the top drivers, because, you know, he couldn't keep up with Nico Hulkenberg. So. And Nico Hulkenberg apparently is not the top driver. So I mean, he is tops, but he's not, you know, he's not in that elite group yet, because, you know, now Ricciardo is beating him in his first year there. So I really don't understand why they're so happy with drivers. You know, I want to see them have that pep in their step. You know, like where they're going for podiums. They want to go for podiums. They shouldn't be happy. They should be going for wins. You know, that's where they came from. It's a big team. They have the resources to do that. So they shouldn't be happy finishing 5th, you know. I don't know. They need to get podiums now if they can, because come 2021, they might still be behind. So, you know, you should, because you never know what might happen. You don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for the Mercedes engine, but there's no guarantee. So you got to get it while you can. They should stop developing this year's car maybe halfway through the season, and then begin on next year's car. You know, I don't know, at least get a podium next year or something. For now, in my opinion, Alonso would have got a podium in this year's car, definitely, because that car has pace. This car that they have this year has some pace, and at the right track, in the right condition, it will get a podium. Yeah, so it was overall it was a good race because it was unexpected. I didn't expect Lewis Hamilton to win, and but Max Verstappen got driver of the day. How does that happen? The guy messed up his own race, so it doesn't count. He messed up his own race, by banging wheels with Valtteri Bottas. So he messed, he did that. Yeah, that was his own doing. He was too exuberant to get past, and I don't know how he got a driver today. I mean, it was a good drive still, but it was his own doing. Even his own doing, that he got demoted by bragging about it. Maybe if he didn't say anything about the, speeding in the yellow zone in qualifying, he would have kept the pole position, and then he would just, started and flew out front, and that's it. He wouldn't have had to pass anyone except the back markers, and came home first, and that's it. So he really should have won the race. So, but he didn't. So, but anyways, yeah, good race anyway. So I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you for watching.